Well, hi.
How's it going?
It's going.
I know.
It's kind of been, it's just a week. It's okay.
I know.
You know, I meant to text you earlier too. I was doing laundry for the boys, which is a feat in and of itself, right? But I'm folding it and I have a pile of jeans that they wore for the week.
Oh, sure.
And the pile of underwear, it's like non-existent. Like, why do little boys not change their underwear?
Right.
Or is that just my little boys?
No. I noticed this like a little while ago too. And I don't understand because I don't know how your big boys and little boys are,
Yeah.
But like Jesse wears a pair of jeans to dinner and then they need to be washed.
Oh.
He can't just like put them on the back of the chair and like wear them a couple of times.
Gosh.
Where like I like day 2 or 3
Sure.
in my jeans.
Yeah, of course.
Like I don't just wash them because I wore them for like a couple hours at dinner.
Oh, that's a lot of laundry.
Yeah.
John will rewear jeans unless they're very dirty.
Sure.
Like, and same with me. Like I'll rewear stuff.
Yeah.
But the boys, there's no rewearing anything. Like they're filthy by the time they come.
I mean, true. Yeah.
But the underwear, we gotta work on
It
that.
needs, yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm
Yeah.
not alone. Glad I'm not alone. Well, I mean, I feel like that kind of just says, what we're doing. We're real moms.
Yes.
We are not professional runners.
No.
No. But we're having fun doing this.
Yes.
And I think we have some good things to talk about today.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. Well, let's get into it. This is Run in Her Shoes podcast with Amber
and Robyn,
where we talk about balancing life, work, and running.
as busy moms juggling life, we want to provide a community where we encourage taking time for your mental and physical health on your running journey.
Join us weekly as we talk about our favorite races, gear, and goals as amateur runners, 1 mile at a time. Okay, well, I have a question for you.
Bring it on.
Okay. When do you like to run? Like morning, middle of the day, evening? What's your jam?
Oh, I prefer mornings to get it done. And I just feel like it lifts my mood for the rest of the day.
Yes.
Like it's something I can check off and I'm like, bring on the next thing.
Yeah.
But as we get closer to our half, my mileage is going up. So I just have less time in the morning. Like I can only wake up so early.
Yeah. I mean, you could wake up at 4 a.m., but that sounds miserable.
Right.
Yeah.
Ooh, because I don't know how your schedule is. Well, especially now, it's like Jack goes to bed. I'm usually finishing up my homework or my reading.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I like to at least maybe get one episode
Of course.
of like a no-brainer show.
Just to unwind.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's kind of like balancing,
Yeah.
right? Like all the things and then not having to get up at like 3, 4 a.m.
Yeah.
just to get in like my now longer run.
Yeah.
So I prefer early morning.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will do like my 1.5 to, 3 miler in the morning, but it's like those longer runs now have to be later in the day.
Yeah, I get you. Thank goodness time change is like around the corner.
I need it.
I need that too. I need my longer days. I have tried to do morning runs. I do intermittent fasting and I prefer to eat like around 11 or noon.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me to wake up first thing in the morning and have already been fasting for, like 12, 13, sometimes 14 hours, depending on when I stopped eating the day before, my legs are not ready.
Mm.
My mind would love to do that, to start super early and go on a nice long run in the morning. Especially because once the boys leave for school, I have about an hour before I need to start work. So like in a perfect world, that'd be great, but my legs can't. So I either have to decide, do I want to start eating earlier in the morning or just keep going with my like evening runs? But evening runs are hard when it's dark out, when I get off work. So in the summer though, evening runs are my jam.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm at. I love getting everybody fed dinner and then I'm gone and I'll be back in a little bit before the sun sets.
Yeah.
Like I'll be back before 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't call me. I'll be back.
I will be back. I promise. Yeah. That is definitely what I prefer. And for now, what I've been doing, I'm lucky enough to work from home. I know not everybody is, but on my lunch breaks, I just go get in like a 30-minute run on my lunch break when the weather allows for sure. And then that way I don't have to worry about either or. It's kind of my favorite.
Yeah.
So, when you are running in the dark though, I guess that's part of the reason why I don't wake up so early is because in my mind, I'm like, I'm not going to be safe.
Yeah.
Running. That doesn't bother you to run in the dark?
So not normally. And so when I first started running, yes, I was in the dark. I usually try to buy running clothes that are a little bit brighter. I prefer like my Under Armour leggings, which I've only seen them in black, at least here.
Sure.
Unless I don't know if you went to like an outlet or something, if they would have other colors. But so I try to, at least on the top, be a little bit more bright. And then I have a headlamp, and I found these kind of cool lights that have like a magnetic clip. So I try to do like one of those.
Yes.
But if you remember, on the earlier end of my running journey, I had that creepy encounter with like someone in my neighborhood. Yeah. So then it was like the next day or really close, I like went and bought some pepper spray. Which
is such a smart idea.
I mean, for anybody. I mean, just carry it.
Yeah.
I don't care where you're running.
Yeah.
And so yeah, normally I feel safe. And then we were just talking about, I just had that weird dream. And I woke up prepared to run. All my stuff was set out, which was another thing. If I don't have my stuff, fold it like on the counter, ready to go, so I can just pop in the bathroom, like get dressed and like go. There's no like rummaging for my stuff.
Yes.
Like,
have you read Atomic Habits?
No.
It's a great book that talks about how to accomplish things, but like that's one of the first things he talks about is you're only as good as your systems. And like what he says is, I guess for an example for me, I know that when I get up really early in the morning, if I feed the dogs and go back to bed and tell myself it's just going to be for 5 minutes, I'm done for the day. Right. But like the small things that if like, okay, I'm going to feed the dogs. And then like you say, have my running clothes right there to put on. As soon as I have my running clothes on, of course I'm going to go running. So it's all about like, you're only as good as the systems you have in place. And so if your system is having the running clothes out, then that guarantees you're going to go do it.
Usually, yes. Except for this one time, I just had this really weird dream about people right outside of our house. And so I just woke up with this really uneasy feeling, and I just kind of gave myself that grace to like not
That's
go out.
Your instinct. Yeah. There's a sixth sense that you've got to follow.
Yeah, maybe. And so I'm sure if I went, everything would have been fine. But it just felt better staying in bed that day. And then there was a morning, months ago now, but I heard a bear in our trash. Oh my God. So, it was like, my alarm's about to go off in like 20 minutes for my run. I am not going to be this bear's, I would say fast food, but I'm not fast, like medium.
Yeah, but you could have set a personal record running, perhaps. But I don't want you to be bear food.
I did not want to meet this bear out in the neighborhood because on trash day, everyone's, it's just a buffet. So,
I bet. Animals is one of the problems that I worry about, like running in the dark like that. We're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. I see a lot of antelope when I run during the day and deer. I've never seen anything scary per se, but I don't know what's out there in the dark. So,
Animal or human,
and then my mind wanders, especially depending on what I'm listening to when I'm running.
Gosh. Yeah.
But I did just get a NOXGEAR tracer too. Have you seen those?
Yes.
That looks cool. I at least feel like I'm not going to get hit by a car while I'm wearing this. And like, I feel like it would cause a ruckus. Like if somebody were to come after me, it would be like, what's going on? Because like, you're so lit up. So that is another safety option for running at night. I just have to get out of my head that it's okay to go run while it's dark.
Yeah.
And you can hear my dogs barking. They would also keep me safe while I'm running. Maybe. I don't know. It's an option. But what do you listen to then while you're running?
So, I will listen to music now and then, but I really like my podcast.
Yeah.
And so yes, will listen to a podcast. And I think because I know which ones are long.
Oh, yeah.
So I can,
It's like a good distraction. You're listening to a story, keeping your mind occupied.
I think yes, but also sometimes I get done with my runs and I'll be like, what the F did I just listen to? Like, I don't,
comprehend it.
Yeah, like, I'm like, oh, yeah, let's listen to the time. Now I can't think of it. Yeah, I'm pulling anything out of my head. Let's listen to how.
That one time I was in a cult.
Yeah, Lake Michigan has its own Bermuda Triangle.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But then I'll get home and be like, what did they say happened there?
I have no details on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I listened to my first podcasty thing not that long ago, and it was a Dateline. I don't know. They're long episodes when you listen to them. Yeah. So my thought was, I'm just gonna take it easy, because when I listen to music, I my running podcast list. It keeps me on track, I feel like, with whatever pace I kind of want to have for the day. Yeah. Do I want this to be an easier run? I have a mellow one, or anyways. But I'm not going to worry about speed or distance or whatever. I'm just going to go. And I thought, well, I'll listen to this Dateline because I knew it was going to be a good one. So I get what you mean. But at the same time, I'm watching behind my shoulder because I just get this feeling.
Totally. And bringing this all maybe a little full circle, but I had to cool it on one of the podcasts I was listening to because I would listen to it in the morning or at night when it was dark because we're in winter time now. Yeah. And it was about the Golden State Killer. And it was intense podcast. I mean, the voicemails he was leaving people, the interviews with his victims. And it was just oh, is this the best choice to be listening to while I am by myself listening to a rapist who
just clean yourself out for the entire run?
Yeah. So it was just
you're why is my heart rate so high? I was not running that fast. What is going on? Yeah, no, I get that. Have you ever taken a self-defense class?
Well, I mean, I guess technically I could say yes. My mom put us in karate when we were younger with the idea of my girls should learn how to defend themselves.
Yeah.
I really question on whether or not those instincts would kick in or if I would be a lunatic.
Right.
But I also feel that probably has its advantages too. Yeah. That someone who's I'm going to kidnap this lady and then I act like a crazy psycho and they're never mind.
Right. Yeah. I heard too that if you're ever out by yourself, I mean, especially as a female,
yeah,
that if you see somebody and they're giving you the creeps, make eye contact with them. And even though that's so hard, because the second I see somebody and in my mind, I think I'm just going to ignore you. But I heard make them uncomfortable and make sure that they know that you saw their face.
Yeah.
And so keep eye contact with them. Apparently that's what you're supposed to do. And then you make the biggest scene ever.
Yeah.
But
make eye contact you're telling your kid from across the room to
yes, that's the look. Every mom has one. Yes. Yeah. Yes, exactly. So that's just what I've heard before. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've had to use it, knock on wood, and I haven't taken a self-defense.
Yes.
I've learned some de-escalation moves at work to get out of a bad situation. But that was in a confined space. I don't think I could divert somebody coming after me if I'm out in the open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe we should look into that one time.
Yeah. I also feel though I'm so immature that I feel I just feel I couldn't take a self-defense class seriously.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
the minute someone is I don't know, if we're in a little combat situation and now you're on top of me, I'm
just gonna be
not
laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that too. Or maybe boxing could be fun just to learn the right way to hit. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll keep that in the back of our minds. It's always a good idea. But yeah, I like to run by myself for the most part because it's just such it's just like a therapy for me. You know, I come home, my mind is cleansed. And so I've definitely ran with the boys before. I'm like, grab your bikes and we're like, you're going to go on a bike ride while mommy runs. And that's great.
Yeah.
But that is not my favorite runs, I guess. I mean, they're great. I love spending time with my kids. Don't get me wrong, but I feel better. But, I mean, I think back to when my boys were younger too, and I would feel guilty going to Walmart because I would be away from them for too long. I don't know. It was just something that I felt like I couldn't believe I was leaving them. I'm talking little, like baby and toddler, like how, because they would cry when I would leave and it was a whole thing and I would feel bad. But then I would be like, well, I have to go to Walmart just for some alone time. And now I think back and I'm like, wow, that was not self-care.
I know.
That was not doing anything for me to go get groceries for my family. I needed to do that and that was nice. But doing that alone, it's not self-care.
We were like, that was my me time. And it's like, no, you were working for your family.
Yeah.
Like you like, no.
Yeah. So go do something for you. So, I mean, I guess that's just something like I want to drive home here is like, it's okay to take the time for yourself to go run, whether you're doing it at 5 a.m., you're waking up early before work, going on a lunch break or getting everybody settled and going like whenever you can make time for yourself to go run, like that's the biggest part. And that's kind of what you talked about and how you started running, like to find yourself as a mom.
Yeah.
Just taking time for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was huge. And also, like you said too, knowing that like we're going to get sick. Kids are going to get sick. You're going to have to work extra. Things are going to be due. And it's okay if you had planned that time and it didn't happen. Like you're not falling off the wagon completely because you missed a day or 2 or 3. Yeah. Sometimes, honestly, there's times where I run once in a week because that was my week. Even though I wanted to run more. Totally. It just didn't happen. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I'm not alone.
I know. No, that has been my last couple of weeks. We just got off our Challenge Northwest where we had to be outside at least a mile every day for the month of January. Yeah. And so that was a commitment in itself. Mm-hmm. Really great. I loved it. Mm-hmm. And we'll have to cover it
for sure.
Full length soon. But coming off that month, plus this weather has been so weird.
Windy, cold.
Yeah. All the things that I was like, you know what? And I'm back in school. So I was like, okay, I'm going to give myself a week to just not worry about anything, focus on school and not worry about those things, the extra things that I feel like I have to do. And then this last week has just been an S show.
Yes.
And so I've ran once this week. And because I think I've taken so much time off, it didn't feel like the best run, but it's it's fine.
Yeah. It's going to get better. Yeah. This time of year is rough.
Yeah.
Rough. But at least we have a goal knowing we can't keep making excuses. We've got to get out there so that we can complete a half marathon.
Yeah.
Which we will. But yeah, I think it's okay to be life happens and move on. So,
totally. And
it's okay if you're not running every single day. In fact, I strongly encourage you not.
Yes.
Do that. I spent so many weeks this summer hurt. There was even one time we had signed up for a race together. It was going to be a 5-mile race. Mm-hmm. And I was like, Robyn, I can't even walk.
Yeah.
Legitimately hurt. And it's because I thought I had to run every single day.
Right.
So, I mean, have you had a running injury or have you been blessed to be okay?
I mean, I feel like nothing like you that put me out where I couldn't run. And I don't know if it was technically the flash-jar, what do you call it?
Oh, the plantar fasciitis?
Yes. But I just had a week where it was every time I took a step.
Oh, yeah.
And
worse in the mornings?
Yeah.
Probably so.
Okay, cool. Cool. So just little things like that where I feel like my body was listen to me, type of thing.
Yeah.
And then just when I hurt my elbow, and so I was just taking it easier.
Yeah, that was a rough one. I'm so glad it wasn't broken.
I know.
And I'm glad it wasn't your lower body also.
I know. Like I mean, it's just so funny what you consume. Like, I don't want to say consume yourself, but it was like, as soon as I fell and thought I broke my arm, I was like, oh my God, like, how am I going to be able to run? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm glad that one turned out okay.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that was fine.
And you've ran, like, had to almost start over, it felt like, too, after you had COVID.
True.
Running after that, like, just that feeling of...
Yeah, like long COVID symptoms and just coming back, feeling like I couldn't breathe. And so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those ones were rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of knee pain in the beginning, and I think a lot of it was because I wasn't doing any stretches before or after, like at
stretching.
I know. It's just, it takes extra time, but if I don't do it now, my body the next day is like, what were you thinking?
Right.
Like, I spent way too much on a chiropractor for months. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. It was lovely. Chiropractor, like, they're magicians, I swear, but I probably could have prevented it had I just, like, done some stretching before and after, because my knee pain, like, my IT bands were so tight. And then I had ischial tuberosity, like, periostitis, big, like, inflammation in the bone. It was just not good. But you know what I found that really helped on top of stretching?
What?
Muscle scraping.
Oh, tell me more. Because I've seen it. And I think it's one of those things, like, they can be expensive.
Yeah.
So you don't want to, like, you know what I mean? It's hard to, like, oh yeah, on a whim. Sure. But so yeah, tell me.
I was desperate because I was like, I'm already shelling out this money every week to go see a chiropractor. I'm going to try and do something at home, because he does the muscle scraping too when you go. Like, he does dry needling, which, wow, that is, if you've never been dry needled before and you have tight muscles, okay. It's great. But muscle scraping, you can buy your own home thing. I got mine from Sidekick, I believe. So, I mean, yeah, it's not cheap, but it was like 2 visits to the chiropractor. You know, it was like around $100, but it comes with this spray for a skin protector, and it kind of has like a mentholy type smell to it. So I think that in and of itself brings extra blood flow to your muscles. And then you just gently scrape whatever area is sore for like 10 to 15 seconds. And they say scrape as hard as if you were not wanting to bruise a peach. So it's not like you're digging in and getting your muscles big time, but it's crazy because when you do it, any area that needed that attention, it will make that area super red because it's bringing all the blood flow to the area. So if you scraped an area that didn't need like attention, it doesn't get as red. So it's just nuts to see it after you do it, to say, wow, my body really needed that. And you can do it daily. And I work on a computer a whole bunch. So even like my neck gets really tense, which, I mean, even with running, sometimes I find myself shrugging my shoulders and I need to relax it down. But even muscle scraping your neck feels wonderful. So I'm a firm believer in muscle scraping for muscle injury and recovery too.
Nice.
And Epsom salt baths. Okay. Which is another great reason to just go escape and sit in a bath for 30, 45 minutes, an hour.
All right. Recover. So if you're looking for gift ideas.
Yes, there. Exactly. Exactly. So I guess, like, on this note, though, with safety, like we were talking about, a lot of people are either totally for headphones while you're running or totally against them. Yeah. Where do you stand with headphones? What do you use?
Well, when I first started running, I just used the earbuds I had already at home, because who doesn't have like a set of earbuds nowadays or whatever. And so those were, you know, they sat in your ear. And so I wasn't getting much noise outside of that. And then because running by myself and all of that stuff, I found these earbuds. It's like an ear cuff. Yeah. I mean, you remember those? Yeah. When people would wear the ear cuffs? So I can hear my footsteps. I can hear like everything around me. So, and I understand where like that could bother. Like some people want to be like totally, I can't listen to my footsteps or my breathing or whatever. Yeah. But to me, I can overlook that for like, I'm running by myself, and
you would know if a car or something is coming behind you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I can't go just totally without music or a podcast or something going.
Yeah. I think one of our runs that we did together was honestly one of the first times I had ever ran without headphones.
Because I forgot mine and you were being nice.
Yeah. But it was still, I mean, there was still something to it. I guess I was more aware of my surroundings, that's for sure. And you can like take it all in. And I got to talk with you, which was nice too. But yeah, usually when I run, like I've got, this is so bad. I have the noise canceling headphones, but I just like that it covers my ears because a lot of the times it's windy outside around here. And I don't like sweat with wind. Then my ears hurt afterwards. I'm kind of a baby about that. So I know, poor Amber.
I like even the run that was like, please don't wear headphones.
And I'm like,
was that in BV? And then you were like, oh, I can't hear you. What?
I know. And my headphones, they are not, like, they're in your face. Like, they cover your complete ear. They go around. Like, that's what I wear when I run. I'm like, sorry, I have to wear it. Good luck, everybody. I'll talk to you when I'm done.
Yeah.
So that's what I wear. But we have had some fails. That's for sure. Some of our races. So like not only do I break the rules, you know, about no headphones when we run, we've also had some like not successful runs. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. But because we've always ran together, I know we're not doing, what is it called, a DNF?
Yes.
So we've completed all our runs.
We have. But we also haven't.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess technically.
Yeah. So this was in August of last year is when this happened. Mud Girl. If we have any listeners that also tried to do the Mud Girl in Colorado Springs, like, tell us about it. You've got to email us and say, like, I was there.
What was your run time?
Yeah.
Where we were lucky enough to have been parked, I feel like.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, trying to come in, because we had an earlier run time or start time.
Yes.
And we still sat in traffic on the highway.
Yes, we did.
So I couldn't imagine. I remember leaving and how backed up it was. People trying to come in.
It was just a mess.
Yeah.
Yes. So, like, first of all, Colorado weather in August. You never know what you're going to get. But I mean, in theory, you think it's going to be pretty warm.
Yeah.
No big deal. It's in the morning. We're going to be fine.
Yeah.
So we left fairly early because it was like a 2.5 hour drive to get there. Mm-hmm. We were ready for that. We were on time. But then do you remember I was sick to my stomach on the way there? Like I had this wave of nausea come over me and I just thought like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm going to be able to run today. And then like that passed. I think after I ate the breakfast burrito, it was better. But it was just, I don't know. It was just a weird thing that came over me. Yeah. So that was like our first little like, what's today going to be like, you know?
Which is weird looking back with something being like, don't even go.
Right.
Don't waste your time.
Maybe. It was so weird. But yeah, like I remember getting there and we're all excited. We had our matching outfits. Thank you for coordinating all of that. And like the theme is like pink and like women strong, like a bunch of badass women.
Yeah.
You know, people have like black under their eyes.
Yeah. We
get our bag, you know, our participant swag bag. Yeah.
Yeah.
It came with a tattoo.
Yeah.
We got our tattoos.
With a tattoo?
I know. I loved it.
No, the best part was we were parked fairly far away. I mean, not the farthest, but fairly far. We get to the place and we were like, dummies, we forgot our IDs.
Yes.
They told us, have your ID.
Yeah.
We go all the way back.
Yes.
Grab our ID. Go all the way back. Did they check yours?
No.
Check mine.
No. I just said my name and they were like, here you go.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of steps in that morning to start with. We knew
Seriously.
That. Yeah. So then we're getting all ready.
Well, because then we didn't want to carry our swag. Yeah. So we walked it back. Yeah,
and you're right. It was a long distance. And the whole time we're walking back between the Jeep and the starting line. And I'm just looking at this wall of like gray building in the distance.
Oh.
And you're just like, that's going to be fine, right? Like it's pretty far away. That it looks pretty dark, but I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah,
it's going to be fine.
It's fine.
Then there's like music going.
Right.
The DJ's got some good sounds. Where like you can only see a very small amount of the course.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. I saw like 3 obstacles. I think.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, you're like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are already ran the course, so they're coming over the finish line. So yeah.
I'm like gearing up.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to start within a certain wave, and they would only let like 50 to 100 people, I think, per wave, or like 50 people every 10 minutes. It was a big event.
Yeah.
Big event. So we're like getting closer, and we can see the weather building. So we think, well, we've got to get in with this wave.
Yeah.
We've got to go. So we make it through. We're like, everybody's running.
Yeah.
You know, like we're feeling it. The music's going. And honestly, when we started running, in my mind, when I heard Mud Girl, I thought the entire course will be mud.
Mm.
So I was kind of surprised when we started just running on dirt, which is fine.
Yeah.
And then you remember, like, we got through that first obstacle.
Mm-hmm.
Like the big blow up thing.
Yeah.
Like your feet going like every other hole. You had to like climb over the big blow up things, you know. But I'm like, okay, we're getting into this. Here we go.
Yeah. Then we're going like over under
the
big thing, the big hill. I thought I was going to die. Only because it was so steep. You had to be really careful.
Yes.
Some girl next to me on the ground was like holding her ankle, and I was like, oh, I can't stop. It was so steep.
Right.
I like ran into you at the bottom.
Yeah.
You stopped me, and then
it was
we
like
both got stopped.
Instant. Yeah. The announcer.
They were taking people off the course and
saying like, oh, we can't proceed, you can't finish, you can't keep going. And at this point, it was like, in my mind, kind of just sprinkling, raining a little bit, and there was lightning. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of lightning happening.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, maybe it's just a lightning delay. And we laughed, you know, we had started our watches. We're like, oh, good, we're at 0.3 miles.
Yeah, cool.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to, like, restart this, right? Like, no big deal.
Yeah.
We'll just let the weather pass.
So they were like, the lightning's getting too close. For your safety, we're shutting this down. But go to your car. Yeah. We'll announce.
Yeah, and people are still driving in, ready for their wave times. Because wave times were like every 15, 30 minutes. So people are still piling in. And nobody's leaving because most of the people that started hadn't even finished yet.
Yes.
So we're sitting in the Jeep.
Yeah.
And there's like not good cell phone service either. Because I remember like trying to get, at least for me, I remember trying to tell John like, well, it got delayed. Like I couldn't really tell anybody what's going on.
Yeah. But it's like slowly starting to rain a little bit more.
Yeah. And then like the floodgates just open. And what was this dirt course made? Like what was the dirt components? Because that wasn't normal mud that ended up getting made from this rain.
I don't know. I
mean, it turned the whole entire parking lot into quicksand.
Yeah. And I feel like we were at like an off-road course or something.
Yes. It was like a BMX type.
Yeah.
You're right. And so nothing was even.
Mm-hmm.
Everything
we
was
were on this big hill.
Yeah. So you could tell people at this point, they were like, well, I'm not going to run in this. We're just going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Like people in their minivans deciding they're going to leave. Right?
Yeah.
So we're parked on this steep angle and people are trying to go in front of us because we were like on one of the, I felt like one of the main roads to get out. Like
maybe. And
cars are just sliding. Nobody is moving forward. They're moving sideways, and cars are not supposed to move sideways. And I'm sitting there really freaking out. How are you so calm?
Yeah. So we took my Jeep, and I'm not just thankful that we did because, we took my Jeep, and I'm just enjoying the show. One, I love these husbands who have obviously come with their wives and driving their friends, and they're halfway out the window, you know.
Laughing at how macho they felt.
Yeah. And just everyone, we must have been in like a weird quicksand spot because like in front of us, people all of a sudden would just like start sliding. I don't know. I can't control what's going on.
I know, you're so good at that.
I can't control if you're going to slide into me. But also, I'm just very confident about how sturdy my Jeep is. Steel bumper. Just, if you feel like you need to drive out of here, good luck.
I am so thankful that you were calm about it because you kept me as calm as I could possibly be. But like every time a car would come, I was like embracing myself and like just waiting for an impact. And you're just like snacking, just watching the show. But this went on for a long time.
Yeah.
Because we kept being told, well, at the top of the hour, we'll open it back or we'll reconsider. Like 30 more minutes. 30 more minutes.
Because we walked back once when we thought, oh, the rain had stopped.
Yeah.
We're good. We're going to like head on back. And then it was like, again, it was like, well, we're going to wait even more.
Yeah.
When we go back to the car.
Yeah. And remember, we bought shoes from Walmart for this race because we knew they were going to get muddy.
Yeah.
We just didn't know why they were going to get muddy. So apparently our shoes just got muddy from walking back and forth to see if they were going to reopen it. But it was ridiculous how heavy our shoes were.
Yeah.
With the mud from walking back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So by now, like the rain has completely stopped. Some people have managed to get out of the parking lot, kind of. Some people are just stuck and they know that they're stuck and we're thinking like, how are we going to get out of here? But maybe we can still run this. It's a mud girl, right?
Yeah.
Like they're not going to cancel for mud.
It's mud. It's in the name.
You're supposed to. And a majority of people like flooded up to the check-in area, I guess, to see what was going to happen. And everybody's just kind of like chit-chattering back and forth. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Like, let us run. It's mud. Everybody just kept saying that.
Yeah.
And then it was very much like, nah, cancel.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. Unsafe conditions.
Yeah. Which, whatever.
I know. I feel like fit people, and I don't mean that in a bad way, not like fit people. I'm just saying, like, if you don't have horrible joints and knees and whatever, you probably would have been able to manage it. But I guess you would have been way more prone to like twist ankles and knees.
So their concern was if an accident happened because of the mud, we can't get an ambulance out to like the last obstacle.
Yes.
Because of the mud. So for safety reasons, they have to stop. I just feel like, I'm going to be honest, I didn't read the waiver. You know what I mean? You sign your name. Yeah. I just feel like what is not in this waiver that would prevent someone from running in the actual mud. But
but they said no.
Whatever. Yeah.
I know. So we walked back to our car and then we're looking like down the highway and it's just at a complete standstill.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel like eventually I got an email, but there's still people coming thinking that their times are good and that they're still coming in.
And or they didn't check. I wouldn't have thought to check necessarily the day of either. No. It was just a mess, but they were like, listen, they were very nice about it. You can run the next year and you don't have to pay your fee again. You're still going to get your finisher medal. So that's how we got a finisher medal without finishing.
I love the guy at the exit was just like, you rolled down your windows and told them how many medals you
we could have gotten more than 2 probably. Maybe. But that was so, and the medals were cool. Mm-hmm. They have awesome swag.
Yeah.
So I feel like we have to redo that, right?
I mean,
I still want to try the obstacles.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Well, it will pay better attention to the weather.
Yeah.
This time. Yeah. Yeah. So that's coming up in August again. But that was nuts. But then, after every race that we do, we've got to go get food afterwards.
Totally.
So we're like Googling breakfast areas near me.
Apparently everyone did that though.
Apparently they did. Because the one we chose had a very, very long wait list. Mm-hmm. Like it was going to be over an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So we said no.
I know. I know. I wish we would have stuck it out. But it was like, this is going to take forever. Dunkin' Donuts has to be fast, right?
Yeah.
Let's get donuts and coffee.
And I have never been to a Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, I'm sad. This was your one and only experience.
It was my one and only experience. I mean...
I want to recognize, first of all, I get it.
Yes.
It's hard to find people, hire people, get people to stick around.
Yes.
And I'm sure in those faster restaurant environments, it's not easy. I've worked fast food. It's not easy.
It is not easy.
I get it.
Yes. But it was just a long experience. It took a very long time to get
a long time to like order. I think
and I'm not saying like 5-10 minutes long. Like,
yeah, no.
Yeah. Cause I'm not really a complainer, but we were just like,
well, then
what else can go wrong today?
I think our order got skipped over.
It did.
So eventually we had to stop someone and like, hey,
I'm so sorry, but I think that we didn't get our food. And we were so hungry. And we just wanted our like sugary sweet filled with icing donut holes. That's all I wanted. And I did get it.
You did.
Yeah. So, that whole day was just a fail. But we're laughing about it now.
I know.
And we, it didn't stop us from running again. We'll do it again. But that was just so funny. That was just such a funny race for sure.
Yes. So so it's back on our list of things we want to do.
Yes.
What else? Are there any other runs? Like, do you feel like it's my race wish list?
Okay.
What are we going to do?
Yes. Let's just say my social media feed is filled with races now.
I know.
It just knows. And I was scrolling the other day and I found this reel that showed a race that is an international half marathon. Okay.
Okay, tell me more.
It's the Detroit Free Press International Marathon.
Okay.
So you get a run from Detroit to Windsor and back. So you're like, I don't know if it's like your turnaround. I don't know where the finish is exactly for what the course is, but you get a run through the Detroit-Windsor tunnel.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So you have to have a passport to do it.
That's fine. Do you have to run with it?
Well, when you check in, I think, so like how the Mud Girl Run did not ask for an ID?
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
I will laugh so hard if they were like, whatever, go.
Yes.
But my passport.
Yeah, I really want to show you my passport. So supposedly, you do have to show your passport.
So does that mean you have to get one?
Yes, I don't have a passport.
Okay. Mine's probably expired, but I had one at one point. I'm assuming it's expired by now. Okay. But that's interesting to be like, entry fee, go get a hotel. Oh yeah, I need a passport.
Yep. So we'll have to figure that out if we are able to do this one. It's in the fall every year, so it's around our birthday season. Nice. So if it doesn't happen this year, it would be fun for somebody's big birthday next year to go run an international
that would be
marathon.
Cool.
It would be so cool. So a lot of it is through downtown Detroit, and then you get a run across the Ambassador Bridge, through the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel, and then you get to go through like downtown Windsor and then midtown Detroit, and then you wrap up like at one of, I don't know, it's called like a Foot Campus Martius. I don't know what that is. I've never been there. Yeah. But you do have to keep a certain pace for the half marathon. They said that they have a pacer in the back, and I'm guessing they have to shut the tunnel down.
Oh.
Because when you look at the tunnel, I went to look it up because I had never seen it before. It said that pedestrians and bicyclists are not allowed in the tunnel.
Oh, gotcha.
And there's going to be a half marathon of people.
So like once a year, they're like, the tunnel's closed.
Yes.
We got to get these runners through. Right. So you have to be done by a certain time.
Yep.
Gotcha.
But it's 4 hours for a half marathon.
Oh, okay.
So I don't feel like it's unrealistic.
Right. They're not like 2 hours. Good luck.
Right. If it was 2 hours, I'd be like, oh gosh, I don't know. Or if it was a marathon that you had to do sub 4.
No,
that's not
feels doable.
I think we could do it.
Okay.
I think we could do it. So we're gonna have to think about it.
Perfect.
Yeah. So the tunnel, though, I guess it was just recently redone. It is one of the most used crossing of borders between the U.S. and Canada. It's the second most, so it's busy. And I guess it takes about 10 minutes to drive through the tunnel.
Oh.
So I don't know if it's like, I don't know if you get to go all the way through it when you're running it or not. But it takes 10 minutes to drive through on a good day. I guess there's a lot of traffic backups. So most of the time people are waiting much longer than that. Oh. So I can only imagine these people that are like trying to get through the tunnel and there's like these racers that are taking, their sweet time and enjoying the experience.
Yeah, I'm going to be the person right in front of the Pacer car
with
the traffic like behind me. Yeah.
And I'll have my headphones on. Like, I can't hear you. It's fine. So, yeah, I just think that would be really fun. So I love having a dream wish list for our races. Totally. That one's definitely going to be on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I heard do you have a surprise for us this episode?
I do.
Should we do our listener story first, or are we gonna do it now?
We can do it now.
Okay.
But I'm gonna hide it from you.
Okay.
So I'm going to just do some quick fire questions.
Okay.
I'll answer them too.
Okay.
But you're gonna go first.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Okay. So some of or I guess just this one, we kind of talked about, but you can be a little bit more specific. Okay. You ready?
Well, let me ask. Am I doing one word quick answers?
No,
I can expand.
You can expand.
Okay.
But you just haven't seen these.
No, I haven't seen these.
So what did you listen to on your last run?
Okay, my last run. I feel like you're gonna judge me on my runs, but okay. I've been listening to a lot of Taylor Swift while because it's been like in the media so much, and so I put in Taylor Swift running mix. So there's that one. Yes. Okay, what is yours?
My last podcast I listened to, because I mostly do podcasts, is Armchair Expert with Dak Shepard, who is probably on my hall pass list. And also specifically his Heidi Klum episode, and now she's on my hall pass list. Love her, love them, love the podcast. Okay. What are you currently reading or watching?
Oh, okay. I am reading. This is horrible. I'm the worst at remembering the exact title.
Okay.
Okay. I really wish that you would have given me warning about what book I'm going to read. No, but it's about this man who had a high profile life as a lawyer, and he died suddenly from a heart attack. Okay. And the whole story is his journey crossing over into the afterlife. But it's kind of a comedy in a way.
Is he running into like people and like, or...
Not yet. Okay. He knows that he's dead. He can see the very few people that came to his funeral, and he's met
very few people.
Yes. He did not have a good relationship with anybody. So I anticipate a lot of reflecting, but he's met a woman who is a farrier, and she's going to ferry him to his next stop in the afterlife. And then that person, I'm not sure where that next person is going to take him, but it's just his journey in the afterlife. Nice. It's like nothing I've ever read before, but I'm digging it. Nice. My last book that I read was Water for Elephants.
Okay. Another excellent book. I am reading, well, besides biology, psychology, all my stupid school books, my Just For Me book, I'm still in Little Women. Okay. Because I started that during Christmas time, but school. So Little Women. Okay. Watching Love is Blind.
Oh, I'm watching Love is Blind too. I just caught up with all the episodes they have.
I know. I'm like 4 episodes in. Matthew.
Oh,
sorry. Okay.
Beep.
Yeah. Your favorite go-to snack right now?
Okay. This is an easy one. Okay.
Good. I'm glad you're not like, I don't know the name, but it's like, okay, go ahead.
No. Okay. My favorite go-to snack is English muffin with avocado, with a fried egg, with goat cheese.
Okay.
With an apple sliced up with peanut butter. Like,
is this all on top, or your apple and peanut butter on the other?
Apple and peanut butter on the side.
But is it a sandwich situation?
2 open face. Okay. And that is what I do with my farm fresh eggs.
Okay.
Like, oh, so good.
Okay.
What is yours?
I have been digging right now a rice cake.
Really?
Yeah. With peanut butter.
Okay.
And like honey drizzled on top.
Oh, yes.
So it's like the rice cake is just to get the peanut butter in my mouth.
Into your system. Okay. Yeah. Well, we have one of my most favorite things is the cinnamon honey butter.
Yeah.
And that would be amazing as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That would. Iced coffee or hot coffee?
Hot coffee.
Okay. All the time?
Pretty much.
Okay.
90% of the time I will take
iced coffee at all?
Sometimes. I just drink it so fast. It's like, I don't enjoy it because it's just gone.
Oh, okay.
You?
It just depends on the day, but I liked an iced coffee because now that I take a while to drink my coffee.
I know, and I'm just like slurping and like there's only ice left in it. And I'm like, oh gosh, I'm a piggy.
So I feel like iced coffee lasts, for me, flavor-wise, like it can last longer cold as opposed to a hot coffee doesn't last as long hot.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
Okay.
Best quote from one of your kids this week. You always have good ones.
Okay, let's think about this.
Yeah.
I would have to say I was a little shocked by this one. And if you've already dropped a few cuss words, I feel like this one's going to be okay.
Good. Okay.
But the boys were playing Minecraft. That's a thing in our world now.
Yes.
And they kept saying something about a ship. And John walked by and was like, "What did you say?" Jeremiah looked at him and said, "I said ship. Did you think I said ship?" And I was like, "You're 8? I can't believe you just..." But he had like a little smirk on his face when he said it. And I just...
He knows.
But I
well,
just...
he said it, but like...
I just didn't think that like we're at that age where he's like testing the boundaries, but it just really made me laugh. Even though he probably shouldn't have said it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
I was recently telling Jesse and Jack about the cheese caves in Wisconsin.
Okay.
So Jimmy Carter, when he was president, threw a bunch of money at the dairy industry because there was like a lack of dairy production. They overproduced.
Okay.
And then they had to house all this cheese somewhere. And like, that's where government cheese comes from because they were like, we got to get rid of it. So then they were like giving it away. But now dairy production is increasing, but people consuming dairy is like plateaued or decreased.
Oh.
And so they have all this cheese in the mountains
Take this cheese.
Right. I was like trying to find like tours, gift shops. Where can I go to these places? So I'm telling them this, and Jack said, it sounds like a lot of cheese and a lot of farts. So,
yes, that is what happens when we eat cheese.
Yes.
Also, one of the benefits of running alone is just it doesn't matter what's around you. If you ate cheese and you've got a lot of farts, it's okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just saying.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why you felt like you had to look deep into my eyes when you said that, but it's fine.
No judgment, Robyn.
Fine.
No judgment.
Yeah.
No judgment. We're all the same.
All right.
Well, that was fun. We might have to do that a few more times because I did like that.
Okay, good.
Okay.
So we'll jump in and we'll hear from our next listener mail.
Yeah, let's hear from our next listener because it was kind of funny that this one kind of aligned with a lot of what we talked about today. So let's hear. What did she say?
But tell me who Allie is.
Okay. So Allie is a friend from Colorado.
Okay.
We have worked together.
Okay. And
she is a fellow mama and a fellow nurse.
Okay.
And so we're going to hear kind of about her running journey today.
Yeah. So, she said, like many of us, that we feel or currently feel lost in ourselves a little when we become a mom. Like we can all totally agree with that. Her girls are 14 months apart. So right now they're 5 and 6. And then while she does predominantly stay at home with them, that doesn't mean you're not a homemaker, a wife. You said she's a nurse. She's
going to school too. Like she's a busy mama.
Yeah. So all of the things. And so, and I don't know if you get this too. It's like you'll get praise for people about like the things that you're doing and it doesn't like land with you or me, like people, and then you're just, it never feels like enough or whatever. So it really doesn't like stick or land.
I get that.
So she said that also about herself. And while her physical health, she felt was maybe on a decline, and then realizing that she's really the only person standing in her way. And
Right.
so that's a big thing to get over too.
Yeah, get out of
when
your
you're
head.
starting this journey. Yeah. She decided to kind of seek a better version of herself, and she had no running experience, a little bit of soccer in high school, but just kind of thought, why not running?
Mm-hmm.
She kind of always wanted to do a 5K. And so that was really her catalyst. 32 years old. I've never done it before, walked or ran it. Let's do it. So
Love it.
went out, bought the Garmin, the running outfit, some nice running shoes, because we all want to say that running like costs no money, right? I just go out and run the open road, but
that's not true.
Oh, yeah. So, and she downloaded a running app, started following runners on Instagram.
Yeah.
I love that. Watched lots of videos. I love the couch to 5K stuff.
Yes.
And stretches for runners. Good for you, Allie. And decided to just make herself a running schedule. And I really like that too. Like in my planner, I like writing out like my goals and like being able to check it off.
Yeah. You and Allie would be great friends with how much you both love to plan and organize your planners.
Good. And she said every week she was able to improve on how long she was running versus like rest times. But she did start to feel that guilt when she missed a day. So we have talked about that too. That's super common. You know, and I think also part of her story is, you know, is she running like a 5K yet? You know,
Right.
Not quite. So giving yourself that, making realistic goals.
Realistic goals.
Taking it a mile or a block at a time. But she was consistently improving on that steady pace and really being cautious about preventing injuries. So that's good. Allie talked about, you know, our kids watch what we do and really setting that example. So even though she's has not run a 5K or a 10K, she's still weightlifting, running, and setting a good example for her kids. She plans to run her first ever 5K at the end of March. Yay. So looks like she has her eye on a mud girl in July.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see you there.
Yeah. And she it's a 5K or 10K scheduled almost every month through the year. So that's awesome. She bought a medal holder. We have one of those. Holders. Yeah. But I like that. Like, even if you start with it blank, to be like, this is going to be filled up.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
Yeah. So she says, will I ever run a half or full marathon? I can tell you right now, definitely not. Love it. I mean, set your boundaries.
Yep.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
But what I will do is show myself and my girls that you can accomplish anything you set your mind to, including becoming a runner.
Yes.
So the best encouragement that I can give you is exercise is a celebration of what your body can do. Give yourself grace, but show up each day for you. If you have to wake up early, exercise with your kids, or stay up late, you can do it. The only person holding you back is you. So put on those running shoes and get out there.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I really couldn't have said it any better. That just really hit the nail on the head of everything that we
way to just sum up our podcast.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was perfect. So thank you, Allie, for sharing. If anybody else is listening and would love to share your running journey, we would love to hear it. So you can email those to us at runinhershoes@runsister.com. We are so excited to see your stories coming in. So you guys like, share, rate this podcast. I know that gets you every time, but we just want to share. So, you know, whether you are just starting your running journey or you're finding motivation to keep going, you know, we're going to be showing up for you guys every week. So until next time.
See you next week.
See you next week. Thanks for listening to Run in Her Shoes. Run in Her Shoes podcast is produced and edited by Amber Linza and Robyn Ogden. It's time to run, sister.